Hello, it's Victoria here from Creative Healing and Wellness and Become Your Best Self and Transform Your Life. I am coming to you live for day 3 of my video challenge. Today I want to talk about what happens after you go through your challenges, you make your decisions, and then the universe comes in and things seem to go awry. And he's knocking on your door, and he's checking in, and he brought along your good old buddies, fear, ego, and doubt. What do? Well, this happens every time, especially when you're on the right path. So if you've made the decision to go down one path, and everything is going wonderful and beautiful, and things are going smoothly, you're full of joy, and everything is great, and then all of a sudden, whack, you feel like you got smacked in the face by something. And that's what I call the universe checking in. Now, what the universe does is it's going to make sure that you really want it. And it's kind of a protection, because let's just say you made the wrong decision, or the decision that is not in your best interest. And the universe might just say, you might want to think about this a little bit. So it doesn't matter what choice. The universe doesn't see good or bad. So it doesn't matter what choice you make. The universe is always going to come in with a check-in. And the problem is when you come in and you're going about your merry way and everything's wonderful and you've made a decision and you feel really good about it and the energy's behind you, it's going to come back and it may bring your good old friends fear, doubt, and ego. And that's when things can go just completely derail you again. And I had a couple of things when I started this journey of, my transformational journey. I started with making jewelry. And it was healing jewelry with gems, and I just got the best I can get, and I was really good at what I did, and I was selling, and I was doing shows, and everything was going wonderful, and I felt like I had my, I was on my right path, and it felt good, and I was getting feedback from, the universe saying, keep going, you're doing good. And then all of a sudden, my ego started popping in. And then my fear started popping in. And then the doubt started popping in, because here I was working so hard and doing such wonderful things and enjoying, hi Melissa, and it just, I don't know, it's almost like, ego's eyes started opening up behind me, and it started saying, are you sure you're good at what you're doing? Are you sure this is what you're doing? What if that person over there is going to tell you your stuff is junk? Or what if this happen? So that started coming in, and so I kind of pushed that doubt away, and I kept going and kept going and kept going, and the universe tapped in again. And what had happened was I was doing all of these wonderful things, and I was moving toward my purpose. And then all of a sudden I started feeling lost in that purpose. And I thought, like, here I was doing something great and wonderful, something I'd never done before, something that felt like so right. And then all of a sudden I see everybody around me doing the same thing, and I started to feel lost. And then of course the ego comes in, and it's saying, see, I told you you shouldn't put yourself out there because this is going to happen. And it literally derailed me. It brought me to like my spiritual low. I was devastated. I was devastated. It's like here I thought I was doing something so wonderful and so magical, and I was transforming people's lives, and then I forgot that because my ego came in and I saw everybody else doing it, and then I got nervous, and then I started to doubt myself again. Well, fast forward, it took me a little bit. It took me a lot of money because I had to go to a retreat and just kind of just detox and just really recenter myself and reground myself. And I kind of crawled out of it. But that kind of gave me this thought about what happens, from the last couple of videos. We talked about the challenges, we talked about making decisions, and what happens when you make that really good decision with the energy of determination, and how you know, how things can happen after that. So I wanted to come in with a little bit of stuff about fear. Now, fear, I have some notes here, so if I look down, don't mind me. Fear is not a mistake. Fear is our protector. It is necessary. It is a necessary evil. It also does other things. It helps move us forward. It challenges us. It forces us to grow. So you don't want to dismiss fear, because fear is there to help. That's what it's doing. It's helping you. What happens is fear tends to bring its buddies, the negative Nancy's, ego and doubt. And they can start wreaking havoc. Now, you know, you think about it, like, what would happen if these people didn't come into your lives? What would life be without fear? Oh my goodness, can you imagine that? I mean, we'd be walking on the edge of buildings and stuff like that, and nobody would be growing, and things would be like, so whatever, and we'd be walking around like robots because we wouldn't have any fear. So fear is necessary, and I think to a point, ego and doubt are necessary too, because it helps us reevaluate ourselves. But when they start to become a problem, what do? You know, fear and doubt can kind of, and ego, they can kind of get us in this thing, because fear, it can be a fair weather friend. You know, it could be your best friend in the right situation, but it can also get you stuck. And then the ego comes in and helps it, and the doubt comes in and helps it, and then you start to go on this hamster wheel. And this hamster wheel just keeps going and going and going, and it's just not really good. So the first thing you want to do is you need to give fear the space to be there. So you allow it to be there. And once you can create the space between you and fear, if you can think visually, like if fear is an actual person, and you have, you know, like when it's at its heated extreme point, it's like right in your face. And we can't see anything beyond fear's face. So what you need to do is you need to find a way to create space between fear and you. So basically you put them into a comfortable person zone. You know, that 3 feet where you can kind of still move and talk and be able to manipulate through life. And that's the best way to deal with fear. Now, ego and doubt, on the other hand, they don't want that. They don't want that. They are going to fight you tooth and nail if you try to give them space. You can give them space, but they're going to fight you, because all they want to do is protect you from dying. Basically, they will protect you and keep you in your comfort zone, even when your comfort zone is not in your highest interest. And they are like rabid dogs. They won't let go. And so what they eventually do is they create a prison around us. And this prison can keep us stuck, sometimes for years. It can keep you stuck in negative patterns and negative cycles and negative relationships and, you know, just back and forth, you know, just like situations that just really kind of rub you further the wrong way and kind of make you contract your energy. You never want to contract your energy, because you want to live with an open heart, and you want to live with compassion, and you want to live in a world where you can expand and you can grow. And ego and doubt, they want the opposite. They want to keep you in your tiny little prison so you are safe. And they'll do it at all costs. So how do we break out of this prison? Well, the first thing that I always teach is you need to be aware. You need to be aware of what things are going through your head. And you need to be aware of the situation. You need to find the truth. And that truth can be, you know, it can be hard to see, especially when we're on the hamster wheel, because all we see is spinning. We just see spinning and we don't see any way out. and the prison has gotten, the walls have gotten so thick and so thick and so thick that we can't even see the windows because they're so far away, high up in the sky, and they're tiny, tiny, tiny windows. So you need to be aware. You need to understand who you are, what your heart is, what the truth of the matter is. And that's the first step to breaking out of this fear, is you have to realize that you're in a prison, first and foremost. And the second thing is you have to, just like we talked yesterday, you have to make a decision. You have to sit there and say, and this is what I did when I had that situation, and where I felt lost and I needed to pull myself out. I needed to make the decision that this was not okay. I cannot tolerate being in this state. I cannot tolerate being contracted. I cannot tolerate living in this doubt, living in this fear, living in this ego, because your ego, it's going to go, and it's just going to keep going, and you're going to start thinking of things outside yourself, and the ego is going to give you many, 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 many reasons not to live with an open heart and be able to break out of your prison. It's going to do whatever it needs to do to keep you safe. So you have to make that decision, that determined, energetic decision that that's it. I'm done. I'm getting out of this prison, and I'm going to move forward with my life, and I'm not going to listen to the negative Nancy's, ego and doubt. I'm not going to do that. So then there you go. You're halfway there. You've made the decision. You realize you're in the prison, and now it's time to put out your intention. What do you want? What are the steps, or what are the things that you desire? How do you want to perceive this world? How do you want people to perceive you? What is your goal? What are your dreams? What is all that? So you need to put out your intention to reach those. My intention was to continue on my path. I knew, because I was getting downloads from the universe and I was being divinely guided, I knew I had to be a healer of some sort. At that time, I wasn't sure how it was going to present itself, because it's completely different than it was, 3 years ago. But I knew that that's what I want. So I put the intention out there that I'm going to do what it takes to get out there and be able to serve and be able to become the healer that I'm being divinely guided to be. So that was my intention. And that was my kick in the butt. The intention was my kick in the butt. And it got me going. So I had to really get my feet down and get on the starting mark and go. And the next step to go is you have to be courageous. You have to have the strength. You have to have the fortitude, and you have to have the courage to put yourself out there, to run the track, to get off the starting line, and to go get your dreams. You have to be courageous, because if you do not have strength, if you do not have courage, along with that intention and that decision and that awareness, you're going to go nowhere. You're going to stay on your hamster wheel. And that's not good. That's not good. Nobody wants to be on a hamster wheel. Heck, that would be dizzy. I'd get so dizzy. So you be courageous. And once you have that courage, you can take the leap. And I talked about yesterday about, leaping and hoping that the parachute opens. Sometimes we don't know if that parachute's going to open when we jump off that cliff. Sometimes we don't know. But I can promise you that the universe only wants to see you succeed. It only wants you to find joy. And it only wants you to excel and become the best version of yourself. So it's not going to allow you to, it's not going to come in and say, You know who those are? That's yourself. Those are your negative Nancy's, your ego, your doubt, and then your fear. None of that stuff is real. It's all an illusion. It's all constructs of our own mind. So you leap, and you just have faith, and you believe that you will be carried and protected. And that's the hardest part. But I promise you, once you take that leap, The wind will carry you to where you need to be. As long as you stay in the awareness of not being in that prison, you keep those negative Nancy's in check, you don't listen to what fear and doubt say, and you don't listen to what your ego has to say, because your truth is in your heart. Your truth is in your intuition. Your truth is in your own personal divine guidance, whatever that may be. So those are the steps to handle with fear and those negative Nancy's, fear, ego, and doubt. And those are my tips for today. So I hope this resonates with you. Again, I woke up with it. So it was like one of those things where I had to say, and the thing that popped in is, if you notice on the video, the text on the video, it's like knock, 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 the universe has come. That's what woke me up. So I knew I had to speak about these three things in conjunction to the last couple of videos, because it's really important. So thank you for watching. I'm so excited to have you watch me live. And again, I hope you find value. And if you're interested in spirituality, empowerment, and enlightenment, please check out my my private Facebook group called Become Your Best Self and Transform Your Life. And I would love to help you and guide you and contribute to your journey on becoming the best self, the best version of yourselves. So I will put a link in the comments like I did yesterday, or you can go down through my other videos to get the link. So yeah, so that's it. So have a wonderful, beautiful day. And I know we're East Coast is going to be getting a big storm on Monday to Tuesday. So be safe out there. Lots of blessings, lots of love, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.